Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sam and today's video is going to be episode 3 of my Read It or Unhaul It challenge. And I think today, instead of me pulling them, I'm gonna yell for my child to come in here and pull them for me. So just 1 second. Do you want to pull 4 books out of here for me?
Yes.
Okay. So just whatever color. Make sure you're in frame. Yep.
Go pick this one.
Okay.
That Night.
That Night. Hang on, let me find it.
Okay. I think it was a romance one. Yeah,
No.
It was red.
No, red I did thrillers. Red was thriller horror.
Oh.
Hang on, don't pull anymore, wait. I gotta find it. That Night.
Murphy, say hi to the camera. Say hi, you guys.
Listen to those purrs.
I wonder if the people hear
Probably.
I'll bring them close so they can hear it. You guys are gonna hear Murphy's purrs. I think they heard it.
Probably. Okay, I found it. So I actually just read another Chevy Stevens in the last one, so I'm really excited about that because it was good.
So
Okay.
the other one I pulled.
Okay.
The Book of Cold Cases.
The Book of Cold Cases. Another thriller?
Oh, I thought that was romance, not thriller.
No. It's okay.
I'm gonna pick a different color.
The Book of Cold Cases. Oh, this is a good one too.
The Book of Cold Cases.
By Simone St. James. I have not read anything by her, so that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yay. Okay.
So a pink one.
You want a pink one? Okay.
Yeah, because pink's my favorite color. All the Little Things.
Okay, I'll grab that one. I know where that one is. Excuse me, Murph. Hi, love. Okay, here's All the Little Things.
All the Little Things. And it's by Rachel Lee.
Mm-hmm. Good job. You know what you're doing.
Yeah. My mom might let me do my own book review, and I think I'm going to do it on one of the I Survived books.
Okay.
I think it'll be really cool.
Okay. So this is like fiction or historical fiction?
Before We Were Yours.
Ooh, Piper, you got some good ones. Okay. You want to show them?
This looks really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for you.
I know, I've heard really good things about this book, so good job, kiddo. These are good ones. So we got a thriller, That Night, another thriller, The Book of Cold Cases, romance, All the Little Things, and then historical fiction, Before We Were Yours. Yay! Okay. I will update you once I have read one of these books. You want to say bye?
Bye!
Happy Monday, guys. I have a reading update for you. I am currently like 70-ish% through That Night by Chevy Stevens. Now, I had pretty high expectations going into this one because I loved those girls so much. And I don't know how I'm feeling about this book. I'm trying to hold out until the end, just to see what happens. I think I know what's going to happen. I'm pretty sure, but the why, that's what I'm like, okay, I want to figure that out. I want to see the why. So this is told in past and present, and it's following the same girl, Tony, and it starts out and I believe it's 2012, and she's just about to get out of prison for killing her sister. And we get flashbacks to her as a teenager, and I believe the flashbacks start in 1996, and we see Tony and her boyfriend and just living a normal teenage life. She doesn't really get along so well with her mom, and her sister is very much the golden child. She can do no wrong. Her sister's name is Nicole, and Nicole starts hanging out with Tony's bullies. These girls have given her hell for years of her life, and it's just increasingly become more, I don't want to say violent, but they never leave her alone. And Tony doesn't really know what to do. She tries to avoid it, but now that her sister's wrapped up in it, she is like, what is going on with you? And then her sister starts to act really weird, and she's hiding things from her. And then she's murdered. And the only two suspects that the cops look into is Tony and her boyfriend Ryan. So they have spent the last 15 years in prison. And they both swear, we didn't do this. We did not do this. But the girls who bullied Tony and the girls who her sister was hanging out with, they testified. They were the ones who basically sealed her and Ryan's fate. They're like, we saw them there. We saw her having an argument, and just all of these things to put them behind bars. And now they are both out. They're both back in their hometown, her and Ryan. They're not supposed to be having any sort of, communication whatsoever because they're both of them are on parole. But Ryan is convinced that one of the girls who was involved in all of this stuff back then, she's feeling some guilt, and she knows some things that actually happened. And he wants her, Tony and him, to kind of confront this girl and see if they can get her talking, to actually find out the truth. And I don't think that this is meant to be like a super shocking thriller or a thrilling thriller at all. It's a very slow story, and you really focus in on Tony as a character and the things that she is going through, the things she went through back in her teenage years, and then what she is going through now as she has been released from prison and she's trying to find a job, and people just are not trusting her and accusing her of doing things that she didn't do. And then something happens at her job that could get her sent back to prison, and it's a setup. And so that's the part that I'm at right now. So there's just, I feel like the girls in here, it's too on the head, if that makes sense. Like, we know who did it, but why did they do it? And we know who is setting her up. We know that this one girl is behind it all. She's the ringleader behind all of this. But like, why? Why? And I don't know. I don't love that. And then I freaking hate Tony's mother. I hate her. She is the worst. Oh my God. Like I said, Nicole could do no wrong, and Nicole would accuse and just lie, saying that Tony did all these things when it was actually Nicole, and her mom never trusted Tony from the beginning. And so when she was accused of killing her golden child, it's like, I can't deal with you. I don't want to deal with you anymore. There's a woman walking in front of my window. That was awkward. Okay. So yeah, I do not like her mom. I don't like her mom. And honestly, when things are revealed and it's the true killers are actually caught, I don't want her to even forgive her mother. I don't, because Tony is so desperate for her mother to love and accept her. And I'm like, she does not deserve you. She doesn't deserve you. Not at all. So that's where I'm at. I'm definitely going to be finishing this tonight. I don't have much left. So yeah, I'm on the fence about it. So I'll update you when I finish it. You guys, I can't stop eating these. They're so good. I'm just sitting here making my grocery list. I don't want to go. I'm procrastinating it, but I have to go. I have to go. Figured I would update you though. That Night by Chevy Stevens. I'm a little worried that she might be a one-hit wonder. Here's the thing. I really like her writing, but this book did not work for me. I am giving it 3 stars though, because again, I do like her writing, and I think that she really just writes in a way that keeps you super engaged in the story. My hair is driving me nuts, so I'm going to pin it back. It does keep you very engaged in the story. My big problem with this one was I think it was just a little bit too long for me. We spent a lot of time getting to know this character and a lot of like background and stuff like that. And I don't know, like the buildup to what actually happened, I didn't love it. I'll be honest, I didn't love it. I think we've seen it before. I don't know when this one was. When was this book published? Let me see if I can figure that out. Oh, 2014. So it's been around for a while. That would explain it. And this is probably one of her first books. I'm going to go ahead and guess that this is one of her first, yeah. Because it's got a list in here that says also by Chevy Stevens. Always Watching, Never Knowing, and Still Missing. So that does make sense, because I didn't love this one, and I've also read Still Missing, and I didn't love it either. So if it's her earlier works, it makes sense. She's had time to hone in on her craft. So yeah, 3 stars. 3 stars. I will say, the mom is still a bitch. The mom was still the biggest bitch that I have ever seen. Like, truly just a terrible person. A terrible person. So, yeah. I'm not sure what I'm going to read next. I actually might pick up the romance book, All the Little Things by Rachel. Is it Rachel? I think her name's Rachel. Rachel Lee. Yeah, Rachel Lee. I think I'll pick that one up and read it. So, yeah, when I have an update, I'll update you. You can definitely see the shadow. Hopefully that doesn't bother you too much. I have a light on, one of my lights that I film with, and you're on my ring light that also has a light, but I can't figure out the lighting over here in my chair, and I'm very comfy. I've got my heated blanket on, and I'm just chilling, okay? I do have to go run a few errands later today, so I wanted to just relax for the time being. And I am like 70-ish, 73, 75% of the way through Before We Were Yours by Lisa Wingate. I really should do a better job of updating you all earlier on, but that's okay. To be honest, this vlog has not gone how I wanted it to. I feel like I'm just forgetting to update you constantly, and it's also taking me a lot longer to read the books so far in this vlog than any other vlog that I have done in this series. So yeah, I don't know what's up with that, but here we are. This is a historical fiction, and this is based on a true story, like based on things that actually happened. This is set in, we're following 2 different timelines. So Memphis in 1939, and then we have present day in South Carolina, Aiken, South Carolina. So in the 1930s, we are following Rill, Rill, and her family, her younger brothers and sisters. And this is following Georgia Tan, who was the owner of the Tennessee Children's Home, I believe. Yeah, Tennessee's Children's Home Society Orphanage. And basically what this woman did, and she's a real person, you can go and look this up. She would essentially steal children from poor families who could not do anything about it. Or she would often exploit the fact that they were so poor and be like, I will give you money, or let me relieve you of the stress of having to care for your child. And a lot of these people were also uneducated, and so they didn't really know what was happening. And so she would take these kids, put them in a home, and they weren't treated well at all, but they were basically just waiting to be sold off or adopted by these very well-to-do, affluent families in the States. So Rill and her younger brothers and sisters actually lived on the Mississippi River on a boat with their mother and father. And when her mother was going into labor with, their newest sibling, the police came and abducted them and took them to this home. And she has had to watch her siblings be mistreated. She's had to watch her siblings go to different homes. And all the while, she is desperate to get back with her mother and father because she is old enough to know something's not right. This is like what is going on. And so you follow that storyline, and then in modern day we're following Avery, whose father is a senator. He is the senator of South Carolina, and she is a lawyer, but she's basically being groomed to become the next senator. And so everything that she does is very heavily scrutinized. She has to, act a certain way, be a certain way, and so does the family. And she is at a nursing home one day, and a woman who has just come to the nursing home recognizes her, and she asks, she calls her a name, and Avery's like, no, that's not me. And then Avery is wearing a bracelet that ends up falling off, and this woman has the bracelet and is saying, this is my bracelet, and has like a little dragonfly on it. And so Avery goes back to the nursing home to retrieve this bracelet, and she starts asking questions, and that leads her to possibly some secrets that her family and her grandmother, who has Alzheimer's or dementia, I can't remember, but she's not able to tell her story. And so she starts she tries to get this woman to, how do you know my grandmother? What is your story? So she's trying to uncover what has happened in the past. So far, I am enjoying this. I will say that I find myself wanting to zone out in the present day. I don't know what it is. I feel like, there's a romance that's happening. And typically I'm like, I love a good romance. You all know I'm a romance reader through and through. So I should like a romance popping up, but I feel like in a story like this, I don't really need a romance. And so I'm just trying to figure out, does it need to be in there? So yeah, but like I said, I'm definitely going to finish this tonight, and I will update you tonight or possibly in the morning. I always say, I'm going to update you tonight, and then it ends up being the next day. So I'll update you whenever I update you. So reading updates. I have finished Before We Were Yours by Lisa Wingate. I'm going to give this book a 4-star rating. I did end up really enjoying this book. I think it wrapped up very beautifully, and I loved seeing that even though these children, they were happy in their lives, and then they were just stolen away from everything that they knew and given a whole new different life. they made the best of the situation. And I liked how the children who were a victim of Georgia Tan, how they all sort of found each other. And now I don't know if that's completely true or not, like if they looked each other up or what have you, but the characters that we follow here, Avery and May, they do have a happy ending, and then you find out how their stories are alike, not alike, but how they are related. So I did enjoy that. I liked the ending, like I said. So yeah, definitely a 4-star read. I really enjoyed learning about some of these things that I didn't know happened in our history. So very, very enjoyable read. If you haven't read it and you're sort of interested in like a different historical time event that happened in US history, check this one out. And then I am like 60% of the way through All the Little Things. I know I said I was going to start this earlier, but I didn't. Okay, my audiobook was running out on All the Little Things, or not All the Little Things, before We Were Yours. So I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and read that one. So I've been reading this on my Kindle. That was, I feel like, a very long intro into saying I'm 60% of the way through this book. We are following Kit and her older brother's best friend, Riker. They meet when Kit is, she's a young teenager. And of course, it kind of follows the same sort of brother's best friend, line that a lot of these books do. She's had a crush on Riker for many years, and Riker, he doesn't treat her like a tag along or an annoyance. He really treats her like a friend, and they do actually become pretty close friends, even though he is older than her, and not super old. I think like 2 or 3 years older than her. But Riker and her brother are super protective of Kit. Kit has a heart condition, and so she's pretty babied. And Riker does not come from the best family. His father is abusive. And then something happens in this book that forces Riker to move away. And he doesn't tell Kit really anything. He doesn't tell her that he's leaving, and then he doesn't keep in contact with her when he leaves. And then 2 years go by. She has grown up and she is trying to find herself, going to parties and she's wanting to experience things. And then her mother has passed like when she was younger. So she lives with her dad and her brother. Her dad and her brother end up going on some sort of like business trip and leaving her by herself, but they don't want to leave her by herself. So they have Riker come in and babysit her. So that's kind of the setup for the book. So far, when I'm reading it, it's super easy to read it. It's very digestible, very bingeable too. I will probably finish this tonight. I think I sat down and read probably 40% of this last night. It's just super quick to get through. I really want to know how this ends, because right now I'm not hating it, but I'm also not totally loving it. There have been some things that I'm like, ooh, that's a little like, I want to say cringe, but what's cringy to me might not be cringy to you, and you might like that. So yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see how this ends, and yeah, I'll update you. But that is all for my update. I have to go. Piper is actually receiving an award from school today, and I don't know what it is. Her teacher didn't tell me because she wanted to keep it a surprise. So I have to go and do that. So I will update you all when I have an update. So I'll talk to you later. This has been kind of a flop of a reading vlog. It's going up later than I wanted to. And you know what? I didn't really have the best time with these books. I really only liked one of them. I mean, the others weren't bad, but they're just 3-star reads. And I also I don't know what happened with this book. I lost my footage, and this was the very first book that I read. So do I even remember this book? Let's see. So we're following 2 different timelines. I know that for sure. And then in modern day, I believe she works at like a doctor's office or something like that. And she is also a kind of true crime junkie. And in the town that she lives in, back in the 70s, there was a female serial killer. Like, alleged, okay? Everybody thought that she did it, but she was never charged with the murders. And since then, she still lives in the town, in, the very house that she grew up in. And she's just kind of become a recluse. But she comes into our main girl's office one day, and she approaches her and she's like, "Can I interview you?" And this woman who was accused of these crimes back in the 70s, she's never really let anyone interview her. She's never really told her side of the story, but she is like, "You know what? It's been long enough. Let me get it out." And for some reason, she really trusted this girl, and she's like, "I think she would do a good job of the story." So you're following our modern day heroine as she uncovers everything. And then you're also getting a few flashbacks from the 70s from our heroine, and then also like police officers and other people that are involved. And if I'm being honest, this was slow. Not a whole lot exciting happened. I don't know. And I know, like, not every mystery thriller needs to like keep me on the edge of my toes, but sometimes I don't know, sometimes I want that, and that's kind of what I wanted from this. And I've heard that her stories, all of her books, have a bit of a paranormal element to it, and I was actually kind of disappointed in the paranormal element to this one. So yeah, 3 stars. It was, it was a book. And then the last book that we're going to talk about is All the Little Things by Rachel Lee. When I updated you all last on this, I was kind of on the fence. And that's still kind of how I feel about it. This, again, is a 3-star read. I don't know. This is one of these books too where I can't really pinpoint what it was that I didn't like about it. I just know that like it was a fine read. I think this author, I would definitely give her another chance. I think her writing is good, and I know I mentioned before it being just very, very digestible and just easy to read. So whenever I picked it up, I would fly through it. So there's something to say about that too. But I think just overall, maybe the story just didn't connect with me. The characters just didn't connect with me. So 3 stars. That's, I'm glad that I'm getting books off of my shelves, but I would love for these to be bangers, okay? I'm only going to keep this book out of the pack here. Before We Were Yours by Lisa Wingate. Again, I gave this one 4 stars. So this is one that I would recommend you read. And then we'll talk about That Night by Chevy Stevens. I think she has better, but again, this is one of her earlier works, so 3 stars. Oh, you're shaking. I got a new ring light and I'm obsessed with it, okay? Like a little tripod. A smaller one, because I have a big one over there. But the one that I was using, it broke. But I've also had it since I started my channel. So it was probably time for it to break. Like the little thing that holds your phone in, that broke, so my phone won't stay. And then I would have to clip on a light to my phone in order to film. If it was like dark or I was filming somewhere where I don't have a lot of like natural light, I'd have to also have a phone or my light with me. This one is like just a little mini ring light. So it's pretty cool. I like it. That was a whole sidetrack there. Sorry. The Book of Cold Cases by Simone St. James. Again, we just talked about this, 3 stars. And then All the Little Things by Rachel Lee, 3 stars. I mean, I say like, give them a go. 3 stars still for me isn't bad. It's just, it didn't wow me. So yeah, that is all for episode 3 of Read It or Unhaul It. If you have made it to this point in the video and you'd like to let me know, leave me a butterfly in the comments down below, because this is actually a gift that I have to send off to someone. It's about a week and a half late for a birthday gift. I'm so sorry, Cheyenne. It is on the way. But yeah, I hope you will subscribe, stick around a while, and I will see you in my next video.